Apparently, the Redmi Y1 was a huge success. And why wouldn't it be? This was the first time that a Xiaomi phone was being endorsed by a big-ticket Bollywood star, Katrina Kaif to be more specific. And I guess that strategy worked. But that is the only thing that is common between the Y1 and the newly launched Y2, because in the meantime, a lot has changed. Hi, I'm Ershad from Mr. Phone, and here's my full review of the Redmi Y2. If you want to watch more such awesome tech content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified every time we put up a new video. Not that it matters, but the Redmi Y2 is a rebranded version of the Redmi S2 which was launched in China. The design of the Y2 follows the same ethos that Xiaomi introduced with its Redmi Note series this year. It comes with a tall aspect ratio display, fairly slim bezels, and an iPhone XS rear with vertically aligned dual rear cameras. One of the things that separates the Y2 from the Note 5 and the Note 5 Pro is that it is made of tough plastic instead of metal. But Xiaomi does a good job of masking that fact by creating a faux metallic look. Especially the grey variant we received for review looks deceiving. I have no complaints about the use of plastic really, because the Y2 is a well-built phone and does feel sturdy from the moment you take it out of the box. Now, one thing I don't understand is why Xiaomi's designers decided to put antenna lines on the top and the bottom. This is an entirely plastic phone. These lines have no functional use whatsoever. I'm not a fan. That said, I'm definitely a fan of the tapering edges on the rear. This design decision helps distribute the 170-gram weight of the phone evenly across the device. Also on the rear is the dual camera module that is ever so slightly raised. The fingerprint scanner on the rear is easy to reach and works fairly well too. As an alternative, you also get the fastest, most reliable face unlock in this price range. Flip over to the front and you will immediately notice that Xiaomi hasn't used a 2.5D curved glass on the Y2. The display is, in fact, placed on a raised platform that creates a lip. So when you're swiping for gestures from the edges of the display, the action doesn't feel very smooth. Additionally, the top and the bottom bezels are huge. For a phone with an 18:9 aspect ratio display, that is definitely a letdown. Another issue with the phone is the use of a micro USB port. I'm done ranting about this one. There are two speaker grills at the bottom flanking the micro USB port on either sides. Of these two grills, only one functions as the speaker. On the top, you get a 3.5mm jack and an infrared sensor. The left edge has a tray with slots for 2 nano SIM cards and a separate micro SD card, which is definitely better than a hybrid slot. The power button and the volume rocker sit on the right edge. While these physical hardware buttons are easy to access and decently tactile, I'd have ideally liked ridges on the power button to be able to distinguish between the power button and the volume rocker, like what we saw on the Moto G6 Play. Xiaomi has decided to go for a 5.99-inch HD Plus IPS LCD panel on the Y2. It comes with an 18:9 aspect ratio as well. Despite the 450 nits of brightness, the display feels slightly dull and the sunlight legibility is not really best in class either. The viewing angles are good though, and the color reproduction is pretty close to accurate too. Evidently, phones like the Mobistar XQ Dual and Xiaomi's very own Redmi Note 5 offer Full HD displays in this price range, and therefore I'm slightly disappointed with the display on the Redmi Y2. The Redmi Y2 runs MIUI 9.5 on top of Android 8.1 Oreo. This update is actually not even reached Redmi Note 5 Pro yet, but I've said a lot about MIUI 9 in my review of the Redmi Note 5 Pro, which should be up in a card here. And with the new 9.5 update, you get a few more features like the gestures, which are cool, and you also get picture-in-picture for apps that have enabled it. For example, Swiggy shows a map in picture-in-picture mode, and as a regular user of Swiggy, I find it very useful. Also, the new notification shade is pretty decent too, but the two-finger swipe to reply is still pretty annoying. Having said that, the Redmi Y2 is primed to get MIUI 10. And you know what? I've actually tried MIUI 10 on the Redmi Note 5 Pro and it's pretty awesome. Trust me, Xiaomi has something special in store for you guys. Obviously, the Redmi Y2 16 megapixel selfie camera is its main feature. This is a selfie phone we're talking about. It is supported by a soft flash module for low light scenarios. Also, Xiaomi has added HDR on the front camera for good measure. The AI beauty mode with deep customization levels from the Redmi Note 5 Pro has also been exported into the Y2. I'm not a fan of the beauty mode, but I'll skip that conversation. But if for some unfathomable reason you love to make your face white and your cheeks red, Redmi Y2 can definitely do that. And whether it is good or not is something I'll let you find out for yourself. As far as regular selfies go, the Redmi Y2 is plenty crisp for a phone under Rs 10,000. Especially selfies shot in daylight offer a good amount of details. The color accuracy is pretty natural by default too. What I like about the Y2's front camera is the impeccable selfie mode. It can identify two people in the same frame, and that is definitely a big advantage. Moreover, the cutout looks extremely natural and the software managed to identify even small strands of hair. As far as low light selfies go, the Redmi Y2 can capture a decent amount of details with the soft LED flash. That said, my only gripe with the Y2 is that it tends to soft focus on the subject. I had to take multiple captures to get the right shot. Now, this problem extends to the rear camera as well. The phone is slow to focus and you have to hold steady for a crisp shot. And yes, you can easily achieve a good crisp macro shot using the 12 megapixel primary camera, thanks mainly to the large 1.25 micron pixel size, which is incidentally the same size as the one on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. However, achieving landscape shots with details across the corners of the image was slightly tough. Obviously, there's also a secondary 5 megapixel lens for depth shots. The portrait mode is pretty decent in my opinion. Video recording on the Y2 tops out at 1080p and the video recording quality is average at best. The phone also keeps hunting for focus, so that's a definite letdown. Internally, the Redmi Y2 comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 SoC. As far as the RAM-ROM combination is concerned, you get two SKUs, 3GB 32GB and 4GB 64GB. We reviewed the 3GB 32GB version. Xiaomi has already used the 625 on so many phones now that by now everyone knows the power efficiency and capability of this 14nm chip. But like I said in my first impressions, it really looks like Xiaomi is trying very hard to get rid of its massive stockpile of SD625 chips from its plants in China. Regardless, you're assured of great performance. I mean, I barely noticed a lag while I was playing Asphalt 8, and you can play PUBG also without any lag in medium settings. The biggest advantage of SD625 processor is its 14nm FinFET tech, which helps the 3080 mAh battery achieve good battery life. I easily got 4+ hours of screen on time on moderate to heavy usage, which is very good. Weirdly though, the Y2 doesn't support 5 GHz networks for Wi-Fi, so you're stuck with slower speeds. As far as the sound quality is concerned, the single downward firing loudspeaker gets plenty loud, but it distorts at high volume. The same loudness is a feature of the DAC inside the phone. My One More Triple Driver reference earphones got extremely loud, but the details in the music was not as defined as, say, the Xiaomi Mi A1. However, the one thing that Xiaomi has fixed in the Y2 is the sound quality through the earpiece, which was a problem with the Redmi Note 5 Pro as well. Calls are clear and the mic is good too, but I faced more call drops than usual. Let it be known that it could also be a factor of my Airtel connection. So, should you buy the Redmi Y2? While I've answered this question multiple times in my previous reviews before, this time I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to actually give you one single answer. So let me break it down for you. 1. If you're using the Redmi Y1, the Redmi Y2 is definitely a very good upgrade. 2. If you are someone who buys a phone on the basis of its selfie prowess, you really cannot go wrong with the Redmi Y2. However, let's not forget the amount of infighting that is happening between Xiaomi phones in this price range. This reminds me of the days when Samsung used to release a lot of phones with so many SKUs. In fact, it does that even right now. For example, the Redmi Y2 with the 3GB RAM variant costs Rs 9,999 and the Redmi Y2 with 4GB of RAM costs 12,999. Actually, you know what? The Redmi Note 5 is also available for 9,999 and that is the 3GB RAM variant. It comes with a metal body and it has a single camera on the rear. In fact, the 4GB RAM variant of the Redmi Note 5 costs 11,999, which is 1,000 rupees lower than the Redmi Y2. So which one should you really choose? It's really confusing. To add to that confusion, there are some really good alternatives from other brands like the Realme One, the Moto G6, the Honor 9 Lite, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. The list is just endless and it gets really more confusing. But I'd suggest that you'd spend a little more and buy the Redmi Note 5 Pro instead. At Rs 15,000, it is the best phone that you can buy in the market right now. So that was our full review of the Redmi Y2. Do let us know in the comment section below what you thought about the review and what you thought about the Redmi Y2 in general. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about more such awesome tech videos. Until next time, this is Ershad signing off. Tata.